you were to tell me to fix your pipes, I would fucking
smash it with a hammer until it leaks everywhere and sprays, and you're like, oh, it's good to go.
You know those commercials of people who are fucking like dense as fuck, like infomercial people?
Like what? You can't hold a sandwich if you're like dropping a sandwich.
They like sit down with a cup of coffee and they fucking like pour it all
Spill
over themselves, and they're already sitting down.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be that fucking stupid, but I would be like to a point where if you told me to do something like
the commercial would be like, having trouble fixing your pipes, if you smashing a pipe with a hammer until it sprays in your face.
That stuff that's another thing that always baffled me. Fucking infomercials. Like that nonsense? Like
it's always in black and white at the
what
beginning.
What kind of like dense idiot is sitting there like, yeah, I have a really hard time sitting down straight. It's like, are you having trouble sitting? And the guy sits down and he fucking like
his fucking head, his neck snaps over and he starts bleeding out of the eyes.
There's a good video out there where somebody compiled all that stuff.
I've seen it, and
like a 10-minute video.
Some of them are like just like the kids are sitting there. It's like, do your kids make mess? And his kids like he's like sitting there drawing on a crayon, and there's like soda over here, and he's like.
Like there's
fucking smashes it.
He actually knocks it over.
It's like they're trying to sell like things to pour your drink. So like some adult is trying to pour milk out of a carton. It's pouring all over the floor. Like, they can't get it into the glass.
Yeah, it's like it just blows my mind that it's like people aren't stupid. If they actually need something, you can kind of show it. Like when people see that, they're not.
People are stupid.
Yeah, but when people see that, they're like, I can pour a glass of milk. Fuck you.
Yeah, but when it's only $19.99, shipping included, it's like, why not?
Yeah, but what kind of guy's like? I guess I wasn't thinking about the disabled.
The worst.
Have you seen Wikipedia's definition of Down syndrome? It's not funny, but the picture there is like a guy with Down syndrome with a big smile on his face. He has a big hammer and he's like smashing a piece of wood. It's such a strange picture to use.
Why would they use that?
I don't know.
Ask why you were there?
Why don't they?
Listen, I was trying to figure out what was wrong with me, but the point is,
why would they do that? Why don't they have like a school photo of him like sitting there like
it's not like a guy. It's like a guy. It's the worst situation that guy could be in. You know what I mean? Because like their cognitive abilities aren't. I'm gonna tread lightly here. You know what I mean? But it's just a very
tread lightly.
Why? It'd be like if they had him like using a shotgun or like using a riding mower or something. It's just bizarre.
Yeah.
It's not that they can't do labor like that. It's just such a strange thing.
No, it's like the idea of seeing.
You expect to see like him hammering something in. He'd be hitting people in the eye, making it bleed and stuff.
Yeah.
What was the question we were talking about again? It's like,
why are Down syndromes? Why should they be massacred? I think it's a bad question myself.
Why should Down syndromes? Why should they be massacred?
It's a very strange question, honestly.
It's a very.
Who said that?
I don't have Down syndrome.
Corey of the future.
Well, let me ask you this:
Corey of the future?
What do you think? Yeah. Here's a controversial thing. What do you think of parents who they know their kid's going to have Down syndrome and they decide to have the kid anyway?
You know what?
I think that's how early.
That's such a fine line.
How early do they figure it out? How many weeks in?
Let's say they could abort him.
How early in though? How many weeks in?
I don't know. Does it matter?
Yeah, because that's a whole abortion debate where it's like
how developed.
I'm saying they know before.
There's like a gray area to when it's.
Let's say 2 or 3 months in. They know.
Well, it's not.
I think 3 months is pretty far in though for most people, right?
Let's say 2 months, 1 month. Let's say the woman's pregnant.
The fetus can.
And they know Let's say they know like within a day he's going to have Down syndrome.
Jeff,
Do they?
Within day 1, they can wince their eyes. So
within day 2, they can say
Jeff.
Within day 1, they can wince their eyes. What do you mean by that?
Day 2, they can wince their eyes.
What does that mean?
Yeah, like blinky.
The baby or the fetus?
Fetus.
Listen.
Let's say you're having a kid. You're having a kid. You know he's never going to be able to hold a job.
How do you
he's
know
He's going to
that?
have health problems.
How do you
Let's say he's on the low cognitive end of
Let's
that.
say, and he's going to always need medical bills. He's going to have very high medical bills, and he still might die early because of all his problems.
Well, I guess it's one of those gray areas because it's like you could be dealing with a family who's like someone actually wanted to be a parent their whole life, and they don't really care for the idea of their kids
but you'll
dying.
literally be a parent your whole life.
But also there's like
but if they're dying,
there's varying degrees of how bad that can be.
I said let's say the supposed baby is on the low cognitive end.
But like the worst kind.
Is it selfish
like
knowing your child is going to suffer his whole life just so you can basically have like a glorified cat?
I don't think it is, but I think I honestly, if it's going to come out as a vegetable, then
No, not a vegetable. It functions, but it's like it can't speak at all. It can't speak.
It's a house plant.
Oh, holy fuck! That's too far for me, Corey.
If it's just pure like negativity emitting from it at all times, and you might as well just like.
It's one of those things like if you knew you were gonna have a kid.
You have someone in a wheelchair who's like sitting there and you're fucking pouring soil.
Put water on him.
Corey, goddamn.
No, look, it's one of those things where it's like if you Jeff, if you
Listen,
have a
I'm
kid,
not
and you know it wasn't
insensitive.
You're going to
I'm
HE double hockey stick.
I'm not insensitive.
You're
I'm
an
insatiable.
ableist.
if you knew you were gonna have a child that had no skin, like it was always screaming.
Yeah.
And it was always screaming, I have
Oh,
no
it would
skin.
be in the dumpster immediately.
You can abort it. You can take a sharpened pencil.
I'd get rid of it.
I think there's a gray area. If your kid's going to have some sort of disability,
that completely impairs it for life. It makes it miserable its entire life.
there's a certain point where it's like there's a disability and then there's like a liability.
That's so deep. Corey, thank you.
It's true. It's true. It actually is true. Like
Corey,
if you just had a kid who had a gimp arm and half his brain didn't work, that's fine. But if you had a kid who's a fucking vegetable and he's going to die before he's like 8 years old.
Let me pretend to be your kid.
I'm your other kid.
That way, hold on, Jeff.
I'm the
That
third
way,
kid. Hello, father.
that would touch my heart because he'd be trying to talk to me.
You'd be like, son, would you like to go to college one day?
I'd be like,
I am small like apple to
you know what I would do?
What?
I would just pour fucking magazines all over him, all these dirty magazines. And I'm like,
You know,
start fucking reading.
you know the
When
beginning.
he starts screaming, he's like, don't hit me!
I was watching the beginning of Batman Returns the other day. I just put him in like a boat and send him into the sewer. I just hope penguins raise him and I don't have to deal with him anymore.
He's just like,
What if he comes back?
Oh my god.
What if he comes back for you?
comes back
You left me behind.
quack, quack, quack. He's like quacking like a penguin. He's like pissed off at me.
penguin. And then you're like, penguin's still a quack. It's still stupid. Nothing's changed.
You still haven't learned shit. That's fucking dumb,
You know
man.
how to do your taxes?
No!
Can we just clarify that the kind of people we're talking about are people who can't even like think?
That's what
I'm just saying, like,
So
I'm
far
just, yeah,
gone.
it's like, yeah, I'm not saying
I'm saying
they don't even know their name. They
Yeah,
don't.
exactly. If they have a disability, that's one thing. But if they're fucking gone, like they're gone.
I mean, these parents.
That's a gray area.
If they're just
I
like
am
ruining the
not
parents'
someone-
lives and their own
I am
lives.
speaking on behalf of someone who cannot be in someone's shoes, who has to deal with someone who is on the
By
point
the way,
of
there are
dying.
plenty of people with Down syndrome that are completely like high or medium cognitive ability.
Yeah, I
that
don't
are
want
fine.
to
I can
sound.
live.
Yeah, I don't want to sound cruel. I'm just saying that these parents have kids where
We're not.
like they're
Okay.
missing the skin, like they can't.
Yeah.
They're completely blind. They can't see. They're missing their tongue.
That's sad.
They're
I wouldn't
crippled.
want that. I wouldn't want that.
And they decide to take care of this thing its whole painful life.
Yeah, but like I said, and I think this also is true, is you think of them, and that's good. Like, you're not being selfish, because that's a really good
You
part of
kind
being
of-
parenting, is
It
not
is
being
kind of.
selfish.
It is a little bit.
They
You're
say they're
letting-
not, but they are because they so badly want to take care of something. Almost they they let
Or
this thing
maybe they're
suffer
also-
for years.
But it's like, I completely agree with you. I wouldn't want a kid who's like a walking volcano. I would want to, like, take care of him.
volcano.
I would want to take care of him if he was still, if he had Down syndrome, that's fine. But if he was like,
We're talking so far gone.
if he
to
was
the
like
point.
a fucking bomb ready to go off, I don't want to deal with that because I'm fucking
Or
Times
if-
magazine is gonna be knocking on my door and be like, hey, can we
And
talk about
that's
your
not to
kid?
say people who do end up living. It doesn't mean they don't deserve to live. It's just like
Yeah.
if you can prevent somebody from being in pain their whole lives, why? What's the moral reason why you wouldn't do that? I mean, real pain.
I completely
real
agree.
pain.
I just say there's a gray area, and I say I've said my
So-
point. But there was also like that chick who her daughter had like a disability and she died and she like mummy encased her.
What?
She was in like this thing. She was dead, and then she was basically profiting off her death. And this girl had like some disability that was like rare, and she was charging people money to see her and give her wishes, and that's fucked up.
Wait, like the
Completely
dead
fucked
daughter
up.
would
This is
grant
going
somebody
into-
a wish? You mean?
This is going to Irish story territory here.
Have you
How's
ever,
that Irish
Corey?
I didn't step on it.
Corey, have you
I
ever seen
know.
that like lady? Have you ever seen that girl who had like a little girl and the baby like died like pretty much straight away, but she had it mummified and she carried it around with her like a doll.
You see, that's
She
the
put it
kind
in a
of
Snow
people.
White dress too.
That's the kind of people.
No, okay, I'm
That is
laughing.
absolutely true.
No,
That's the kind
I'm
of people-
Like, that's horrible to laugh at, but
That's the kind of people who
seeing
you
it in
said
a
that to
Snow
and they'd
White
be like,
dress
you're a
is
horrible person.
fucking just.
They found a Snow White doll dress and put the dead mummified fetus in a Snow
I'm
White
sorry,
doll dress.
but it looks funny.
That's messed up.
So let's just say if you knew a kid was just going to have mild autism,
Me?
or no, let's see if he's just going to be a typical Down syndrome like that guy Corey from Life Goes On. Do you remember that show? Never mind.
His name is Corey.
His name was Corey.
Corey, you look sad.
No,
I said that not even realizing your name. Like Corey.
you know, Corey from fucking Life Goes On.
You're
You
sleeping
looked at
together.
me with this disappointed look. You're like, what? What do you mean? Like, yeah, it's like I'm hurting your feelings. I didn't mean it like that.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
there was a guy named Corey on a show
Was
called
it
Life
was
Goes
it
On.
played by?
I think it was Corey.
Who's the guy? Was it played by Johnny DiCaprio or whatever his name is?
No,
What
the
the fuck?
character.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
No. That was the Steven Gilbert
Johnny-
Grape. He was retarded in that movie. No, this is a legitimate Down syndrome person.
I want it. I don't
wanna
want that. If there was a point where I would like to think that me and my wife were on the same sort of idea with
What?
having a kid with Down syndrome.
What if the doctor? All right, theoretically, what if the doctor came to you and he looked at the ultra scan? He said, "Listen, sir, I don't want to give you bad news, but this child that is coming, the doctor's not going to tell you he has Down syndrome, but he's basically going to say, listen, this kid, basically his whole life he's going to be on the computer typing out hot memes all day." He's gonna be
sharing memes all day.
sharing the hottest memes all day, and that's all he's ever gonna do his whole life.
So just for like clarification, this is the future where they've already like completely mapped out your future life, and he's gonna be a
Yes.
meme spewer on
It's
4chan.
like-
Let's say there's a meme gene,
He's a-
and you can tell. And he says your son has this gene, and you guys both
He has
both
like
have.
stage 6 level meme autism.
Yes.
See this section of the brain right here. He's gonna be looking at advice animals all day.
All this section is gonna be to Awkward Penguin and Troll Face and Battle Brian.
I would be
all
like,
this section of the
I would
brain.
be like, when he's not looking.
You kill your son. You tell
Would
the
you ask him
doctor.
to snap it in the womb, like twist his head while he's in the
Would the
womb?
doctor
I
stick
would
his
say-
head up
like a
there?
doorknob?
I would say, have you played Hitman? I
Pull
would
the
say
head off,
be
like, here you go.
inconspicuous, okay? I'm paying you good money.
Me?
You're just gonna whisper him like, listen, just while you're
Just
know,
a little.
yeah, and then
Yeah,
just don't
and I
tell
said-
her. Just tell. And
What if-
when he comes out dead, just act surprised.
What if you said that and the doctor looked at
Just make a big O face when the dead baby comes
the fucking
out.
dead baby rolls out. Oh no!
what is that? I didn't have anything to do with that. That's weird. I can't believe it's
What
dead.
happened?
Oh my god, his head came off. That never happens.
The woman's
man.
like, "What was that crack? I just stepped on a peanut. I don't know."
I was cracking my knuckles in there. I know it's bad for arthritis, but you know, whatever. Sometimes my fingers get exhausted.
And then I'm like,
What happened was you creeped up the baby's ass and I popped his head up like a doll. That's what happened, lady.
You
It's
know
your
what?
fault. You killed the child.
don't-
snapped his neck.
It warms my heart. We're back to the dead baby.
Jeff, what would you do, Jeff, if
But
you
this
were
is context.
Jeff?
This
Yeah.
guy.
If
This
you
is
were
a
with your
meme-
beautiful wife,
This
Yeah.
guy, this kid is a meme spewing idiot from the future. He's the worst kind of kid.
Yeah,
Jeff, if you were with your beautiful wife
Yes.
and the doctor, you hear you're at the emergency room. And
Yeah.
your wife, she tweets and she giggles. You're like, that's gross. But then you see a little baby head come out, and the doctor pulls her aside and says, Jeff, your wife just queefed up the baby's ass. And it killed it popped the baby's head off. Your wife just killed your baby. And your wife doesn't know. She's still giggling there, laughing. What do you do? Are you angry at your wife?
I'd probably be more mad she's probably laughing at a terrible joke than having a dead baby.
Jeff,
I'd shrug.
Your son's
I'd
little
shrug
head.
I'd shrug at the dead kid.
Jeff,
I'd
Jeff,
be
your
like,
son's head rolls to the floor, looks up and says, "Da da da da." What do you do?
How the fuck is his head still?
I would.
Because the baby's head lives for 2 more years after it dies.
All right, Chris.
I would kind of slide him into a
Chris,
dark corner with my foot,
let's-
hoping nobody
let's
saw
say-
noticed him before he
Let's say
died.
your kid comes out and he's the polar opposite of everything you enjoy. He hates everything you enjoy. You're like, man, I love Final Fantasy VII. He's like, that was the worst RPG ever made, old man.
I'd grab him by his turkey neck and hold him against the wall and
Why is he a
scream
turkey leg?
His turkey neck
He's
is
a
screamed
faggot.
at his throat. He's a faggot.
Chris, what if your son came
There
out?
you go. If you're bored and you're a little shit, you're getting it. You're getting a wallop when you pop out of the pussy.
Daddy wallop.
What if your little kid's like, I want to play physics games on YouTube all day?
What if he's like,
Would you beat him to death?
what if he walked in and he said, my hero is PewDiePie? What would you do, Corey?
I'd be like, good choice.
I'd be like, join the bro army.
I'd be like, you are one little
Can we
faggot.
talk about a sound that I heard? Oh, God.
Sorry. No, I would wait till he was old enough to go to school. I'd intentionally buy a house on the other side of the street that the school bus has to pull up on, hoping that he has to cross a lane every day and hopefully
Just
get hit by a
increase
car.
the chances.
Oh my god. All because he likes
Yes.
That's very intricate.
I have no tolerance.
paying-
His
like-
epic brains will be over the road.
I'm not capable of unconditional love. I have
It's
to.
Jeff, what if he
It's
looks
okay,
exactly
we-
like you? Would you not feel a little bit of empathy for him?
I feel like we've created a situation where we can ultimately hate our kids.
I'd find it more interesting if I'm like looking at a dead body and I'm like, it looks just like me. That'd be pretty interesting, actually. I've always wondered about that when twins, like when a twin dies and he's looking at the other twin, he's like, that's pretty interesting.
That looks like me, but I'm
Just-
fucking dead.
Yeah, he looks just like, yeah, I'm
Looks like a
dead.
dead version of
I'm
me,
looking at me.
goddamn.
Yeah.
But the more you know.
So what was the question?
Yeah, what was the question?
Was it advice?
That is the question.
Was
What do
it
you guys
advice
like to
we
do on
should
the
give
weekends?
people? Was it advice we should give people?
What was the actual? Oh yeah,
Holy
god
shit.
damn, we got off track. We started talking about
Wow,
boarding.
slightly off track there. Holy
We were
shit.
past that, I think.
Yeah, what was it?
Chris jumped
Chris,
to like
you,
page
Chris,
2.
you did it. You
I forget.
Chris, was that your question?
I'm a sleepy sausage.
So, anyways, basically, our point is the best advice is when you see twins killing the one die, the other one looks at them. The end.
yeah.